If they don't have a website, they also probably don't even have Google Business, and you'll see there are just shit tons of them. I would pick up the phone and I would call them instantly. Starting a web design business from zero capital is actually pretty possible, and what I did to begin with as well. So I had no money to spend on paid ads, I didn't have any team around me, and to be honest, in the beginning I had really limited web design experience as well. So this is going to be a pretty quick video because there's no need to make it more complex than it needs to be. Finding your first few clients, how to actually sell them, how to upsell them, like a secret kind of value bomb you can offer, which is really easy and instantly builds trust and credibility even if you don't have a built up agency. So let's get onto the laptop. So the first thing I would do is I would try to find leads. Now you can use a bunch of different ways. You can use Instagram, Facebook, you can use Google search as well. My favorite is in Facebook groups. Now I'm not going to go into Facebook groups and make a few posts, hey guys, I can design a website. No, we're actually going to find people that are actively looking for work in these groups. So I've already joined a few, but for example, the best ones aren't exactly the business groups, but more the community pages. So instead of saying like Sydney local business group, which you can find a lot of good ones in there, I like to go to like different suburbs in Sydney or literally anywhere in the world. It doesn't even have to be from the same country you're from. I usually do because especially me in Australia, I have the advantage now where if I'm contacting people from Australia, I can cold call them, I can cold text them, and it's just a little bit better than DM. So I'm just going to go and search Sydney community. Well, let's niche down a bit. Let's just go somewhere like Manly. So actually in one right now. Here we go. Boom. Now you might have to join a few different groups and like get accepted, whatever. But that's fine. I'm like in hundreds of groups. And he's going to start to scroll through. Now in these community groups, there's going to be a lot of, oh, hey, there's a lost dog or there's a photo, a lot of bullshit in here. But you will also find a lot of businesses similar to this where we can see, look, they may have a website, but a lot of my sales are actually for businesses that already have websites, but they're just like shit websites because firstly, they have their domain and software set up, they see the value in it, but they're not really doing a good job on how they've got it set up. Anyway, this could be an option here. Here's a phone number. I would pick up the phone and I would call them instantly. I would text them, and I'll give you a few different scripts and things you can do and how you actually sell them even if you don't have web design experience. I'll get to that. Right now, it's about finding leads. So boom, here's one here. You got an email, you got a number. Let's give it a go. Scroll down a bit more. This could be another one. Oh, they've got a website. Could be a shit one. Who knows? And here we go. Here's another one. So this one's like some sort of hairdresser. See, these are the best ones because they're not like a super like built up credible business. So they're really good ones that you could aim for. So let's just go into some other groups now. Let's see what I'm in. We can go into, what's one? We can go into some business advertising just to show you. So a lot of these, so a lot of them are a little bit scammy, it's a bit harder. So this could be one right here. So look, they're super easy to find. I'm not going to waste your time going through it. The reason why though, I like Facebook groups more than say like Google Business Search. You can go through, you can find Google businesses that maybe don't have websites, but reason being is a lot of them, especially if you're in countries like America, UK, a lot of them are really saturated and probably getting like multiple outreaches per day. In Facebook, if they don't have a website, they also probably don't even have Google Business, so they're not even on there. And if you're finding someone that's actively just put out a post a few days ago, a few hours ago, they're active, they're looking for work, you can mention like, hey man, I just found your Facebook post, and then we can get into like the actual script and outreaching. But just firstly, real quick, I want to show you an Instagram. So you can do this as well. I actually find it easier on the phone, but you can search up like electricians. What's this? And then you can see a lot of the first few that are like verified, a lot of followers, they're probably already got pretty good sites. But I always go through this button and I just go through like just clicking. Here we go. Perfect. This would be one right here. I'd click again. I'll just go through fucking, what do we have? Real luxury landscape. And here's another one just like that. Boom. So we've got sites that we can DM right now. Instagram pages. Now, if you are doing DMs over like call and text, now I work with a lot of appointment setters and I see what works and what doesn't. A lot of the time, it's not actually the script, but in terms of DMs, it's the account that you're outreaching from. So if you've just got a few followers, it's a personal account of yours, nothing really on the feed or bio to show for it, and it's just a little bit sketch. They might read it, they might open it, but they are not going to give you the time of day. However, if you look at, say, my page, if I did outreach from this, so you can see websites for leading business owners, free consultation calls, got my website, I've got highlights, I've got testimonials, I've got my website launches. See, something like this is very credible, and it will, like, even if you're sending the same script, and not even sending as many DMs as someone else, you're instantly going to stand out, and you are 100% going to get 10 times better results. I'll blur the name for you, but this is one of my appointment headers as well. Now you can see he's from like India, I'm pretty sure. So he doesn't have his like face to the brand, doesn't do a lot of like talking head videos, but he just reposts a bunch of cool different website designs, and he gets really, really good results in terms of his like outreaches. Now, when we find these people to reach out to, what are we going to say? Now, I would like to keep it very short and sweet. Don't send a whole bunch of different paragraphs, a bunch of emojis. Now, this is if we're doing cold text. I highly recommend you pick up the phone and you start cold calling. You have a bit of confidence, accept there's going to be rejection, but cold calling is obviously, especially if you're getting leads from Facebook groups, one of the best methods by far. But the whole idea is we're going to say that we've already gone ahead and built them a free website mockup, and I'll show you how you can easily do that in like 5 minutes with limited web design experience. And this isn't your shitty AI 5-minute cookie cutter websites. These are really good high quality templates that we're going to use. And this isn't like the full on website we're going to sell. There's a bit more to it, which I'll explain. But this is just to instantly build trust, build credibility, and give value first, because you always want to give value. So we're going to go ahead and tell them, hey, say it's an electrician business. Hey man, love what you're doing. I saw your post on Facebook. I noticed you either don't have a website, or if they do have a website, but there's a lot of things that you can point out and say that are broken. You don't have like a good hero section with a contact form. You're not gathering leads the way you should. It's not optimized for mobile. It's very messy, clunky, not SEO optimized. A few things you can point out. We've actually gone ahead and built you a free website mockup. We'd love to show you. Are you free for a 5-10 minute call today or tomorrow? If you're doing cold call, you can obviously like talk and book them in on the spot. If you're doing text, a bit of back and forth. What I do, and especially because I work with a lot of appointment setters that do outreach for me, is I use Calendly. So I just send them my Calendly link. It is super easy because I can always update my availability on here. I make sure I have at least a few hours, to even usually like a day, because I'm pretty busy, to actually put together the mock-up for them. Because remember, we aren't doing the mock-up and then reaching out to them. We're reaching out to them saying, we've actually built the mock-up. Are you cool if I show you like later today or tomorrow, even a few days down? You don't want to do it. I never have my, you can see here, my Calendly like pass a few days, because then they'll forget about it. But they can go on, they can book a call. And then I have these questions just because, again, through my appointment setters, I want to have the information, but just keep it super simple. So business name, what industry they're in, their business Instagram, and additional information for the call. So I can actually then go in, I can get further information from the business, I can get their photos, and I'll go ahead and whip up the mock-up. So doing the mock-up, Framer, 100% the best way. I recommend Framer. Like I used to begin my web design journey on like Wix, because it has a lot of really cool back end for everything. If you like, say, a gym and you got like classes, different stuff, which I used to sell. But in terms of high quality websites, especially with no money or their free templates, Framer by far. Now, it's actually really, really easy. Now, I use Framer for all my web design clients that I sell, multiple thousands of dollars. It's a bit more in-depth. We're doing a lot of like customized things. So I obviously have that web design experience. If you have no web design experience, so I'm pretty confident you'd still be able to at least do the mock-up. And the whole plan is you're either then going to continue the website development for them, do the service delivery, or you can go over to Fiverr and you can literally pay someone $50 to $100 to do the website for you and outsource it. So we can go in, say, web design, and we can give them, even if we're not doing the mock-up, you can probably work with someone on here as well. And yeah, there's actually some pretty good price. These are a few expensive ones. Say this one's cheap. But yeah, I mean, it just super easy. But I'm going to show you how we do the mock-up. So say we're working with a electrician. I've been using that in this video. So we can just search up any niche. I cannot spell electrician. Say a bunch we can work with here. A few of them are paid, but you can actually kind of use the paid ones as well and just inspect, element the different names and stuff. We'll go ahead and say you can just filter it to free though. That's not really what I might do. Actually, I might just say like I home service, more like I think there's a lot of good plumbing websites. You don't actually have to search up the industry. You can search up like whatever, and you can kind of like change it and edit it. So this one, for example, we're going to open this up, and you can actually preview it first. So you can open up the website and see what it would look like. Like, look at this. This is incredible. It is great if you can use a template that's in the same industry, because obviously then it doesn't take as much editing to do. But I can use this one. I really like this. It's got a bunch of different pages, services, really cool, contact forms, and I would go in and I would just put in the logo. I would change like the location, a little bit of text. I'd use AI to help me with that. Obviously services if you need to change, so number here. If I need to change the photos, I would, and I'll show you how you actually do that in Framer. And then I would literally just show this on the sales call. So yeah, you click use for free. It's going to open up in a Framer editor. Again, there's so many amazing free templates. I'll show you some more before I get into. Let's go into templates. Let's just click business, and then free. And you'll see there are just shit tons of them. Like there's this one here. Let's open up this one. That's kind of cool. And again, these are all optimized for mobile also, of course. We've got, what do we got? What's this one? This one might be all right. And then when you get into, see, that's kind of cool, it's pretty sick. When you get into the actual development, you can get different pieces you like from templates and put it together. Now, the Framer editor is a little bit, not as beginner friendly, but in terms of like doing the mock-up, see, it opens up in your editor here. Now, it's not going to be a full-on boring tutorial, but you got your desktop, your laptop, and your mobile view. If you want to, say, change a picture, as simple as clicking, you can go and upload a new picture. If you want to change the location, we can go, yeah, we can just put in Sydney, wherever. We can go in, we can change the logo, we can change the number in here. So I'll just go in here and I'll just change whatever the number is. Boom. If you want to change some of the text, some of the services, it's a bit relevant to them. And then you can go ahead, you can just get a base little link. And then this is what I would show them on the call. And they'll be like, wow, you've gone ahead and done a full website already? That's insane. And once again, it instantly builds trust, instantly builds credibility. Even if you don't have a built up like agency for a whole lot of social proof or credibility, you can also do a few designs in Framer and you can use them as your own like portfolio. Not saying just copy and paste a template, but you can go in and use different elements and help you get a bit of a portfolio that you can also use in the sales calls. Some tips for the sales calls. Obviously, number one, be very confident. Number two, if it is, say, a business that already has a website, I would firstly pull up their website and I would go through it from like a visitor perspective and show them a few problems with it, why it's not like a high converting website. Maybe you can show them on the mobile version as well, how it's not optimized. And then after that, and you've pointed out the problems, I would pull out the new mock-up you've done for them. And go through, you don't only have to do the homepage or a little bit of the homepage. You don't have to do every single page. You don't have to spend ages, but say just here in a few minutes, you can tidy up a few different texts and stuff. You can even do a few different variations. Like you can use a few different website templates and show them maybe 2 or 3 variations of the website. And instantly it's like, holy shit, man, you've gone a lot, giving me a lot of value first, a lot to think about. And then from there, you can do different things, like maybe you can offer to do half up front, half from completion. You can charge them anywhere from 2K up to 10K. And yeah, so from there, all right, you sell them. Maybe you need a little bit of help to do the development or certain things in development. Fiverr. All right, Fiverr, or reach out to me. I'll get you in contact with someone. Really as simple as that. And then, of course, you want to turn it a bit more into a proper business from here. It's not just a one and done. So you gather reviews, testimonials. You want to build up some sort of page like I've done here. Get your own website. Again, you don't need this at the start because it all costs capital. But this is my website, so I've got that here. Got different web designs. I show my process. Got different reviews, stuff like that. And then obviously paid ads, but from $0, you can instantly, within a few days, because I've done a video where I spent one day doing a few hours of cold calls and sold like thousands of dollars of website projects. Within a few days, even with no web design experience, you can easily turn this into a great side hustle, into a great job, and let's go for it, make some money.